Hey, Patricia. What are you up to?
Hey, Ashley. Just doing some gardening. Look at all these seeds I'm planting.
Cool. What kind of seeds are they?
Well, right now I've got tulips and sunflowers, but sometimes I also like planting all kinds of fruits and vegetables, like tomatoes and lettuce and bell peppers.
Huh. So these little seeds are going to turn into like flowers and fruits and vegetables?
Yep, you just have to plant them in the ground or in a pot. You need to give them lots of water and sunlight, and over time they will grow into all kinds of plants and flowers.
Wow. It's surprising that something so small like a seed can turn into all of those things.
Yeah, actually, Jesus told some stories about gardening too, and even baking, in order to teach his followers something about the kingdom of God.
The kingdom of God. Wait, is that the place, like up in the clouds, like heaven, where we can go someday?
Actually, Jesus taught that the kingdom of God is right here on earth. It's when everything in the world is the way it's supposed to be, and we're all living in love and peace with each other and with God. It's like heaven coming down to us.
Okay, but what does that have to do with seeds?
Well, Jesus said that the kingdom of God is like a tiny little mustard seed that starts out super small, like with just a few people loving God and each other. But then it grows into this big, giant tree where the birds and all the other little animals can sit on its branches and people can sit under its shade.
Huh. You mentioned baking too. What does that have to do with it?
So Jesus also told another story about how the kingdom of God is like baking bread. You start with some dough, and then you add this little ingredient called yeast. You just sprinkle it onto the dough, and it spreads throughout the batch, and it helps the bread to rise when it's being baked.
Okay, so it's also like something that starts out really small, and then spreads, and then grows, and then turns into yummy bread? Man, Jesus' parables are making me hungry.
Yeah, exactly. And Jesus even said that the kingdom of God is like that. It starts out really small, like it starts with just Jesus, but then a few people started following him, and then over time more and more people joined until now there's hundreds and thousands of Jesus followers in the world.
Wow. Are we part of the kingdom of God too?
Yes, if you love Jesus and follow his teachings and examples, then you're also part of the kingdom of God, and you have a really important part to play.
Really? I'm part of God's kingdom? But I'm just one person. What difference can I make?
You can make a really big difference, just like a small seed can turn into a big plant, or a little bit of yeast can spread through a whole batch of dough.
How do I do that?
Well, you can start by learning about and following Jesus. We follow his example whenever we love God and others. We can even do little things like treating other people the way that we want to be treated, standing up for what's right, and taking care of God's earth.
That's so cool. So even the small things I do can make a difference?
Yeah, it's like how even a small act of kindness can mean so much to someone. Like, for example, there's this one time when I was in elementary school, and some of the other kids from my class had snatched my lunch bag from me and were running away with it. And I was chasing them, and I felt so horrible. But then one of the older kids, who was 2 grades older than us, saw what was happening and took my lunch bag back from the bullies and gave it back to me and told them to back off. I was so surprised that one of the older kids, someone that I barely even knew, would stand up for me like that. I hope that one day I can be like that too when I see someone else getting picked on.
Wow, that is so cool that the little things we can do can help make the world a better place, like the kingdom of God.
Yep. I think I'm going to tell the kids these stories on Sunday. I'm going to call the lesson, Small Beginnings, Big Results.